time for another live session. Coming up in about 8 minutes. Get ready, have a paper and pencil ready to take some notes. You can always review the charts later on, but have paper and pencil ready for today's session. It's going to be a doozy. Less than 5 minutes to go here. As I mentioned earlier, make sure you have paper and pencil ready. Take some notes. Use your cell phone. Use your smartphones and record some of the key points. You record it in your voice. About 3 minutes to go here in our live Nailing FX session. Hope everybody's ready. Get comfortable. Have paper and pencil. Focus, focus. Here we go. About 1 minute. 1 minute. Get ready. Buckle up. Here we go. And we are live, coming to you from Bien Hoa City in Dong Nai Province, Vietnam. Earlier this morning it was 85 degrees already here, 29 Celsius. And of course I'm coming to you from the Pegasus Plaza in downtown Vietnam in Bien Hoa City. As you know, I come to you every Wednesday at 10 a.m. from Vietnam. That's UTC +7. It's about 4 o'clock in the morning in London. How are you folks there? And Tuesday night, 11 p.m. in the East Coast, New York City. This is Nailing FX, Spot Forex Trading Simplified. My name is Opa, and you can get in touch with me at fxopabert@gmail.com. Here's the schedule for the rest of the month. Today is Wednesday the 12th, and I'm coming to you on YouTube from Trade with UFOs. Next Wednesday, the 19th, I will be broadcasting to you from FX Street. To get all the scheduling information, go to www.tradewithufos.com/OPA. Click on the Get Together button at the top of the page. Sign in, costs you nothing. Stay tuned, stay in touch with everything that's going on. Plus, here's something new for you. My good friend and the man that makes all this possible right now, Jose Blasco, he is going to be conducting a Survival to Mastery Forex in Action. It'll be an on-demand session. So you should take a look at that. That address is www.tradewithufos.com/product/in-action-self paste. There is a tuition. But if you're really interested in learning how to use those UFOs and all of those indicators that are available to you on the other platform, TradingView, you should take a look at this, and the tuition is very, very reasonable. Okay, let's go ahead and get the disclaimer done. The following videos, clips, demonstrations are for educational and instructional purposes only. Tradedictive and I provide these videos purely for the purpose of demonstrating a method of using the products. Users understand that all the contents used in the videos, again, is for demonstration purposes only and is not a way to tell you what to do and how to trade. We do not provide any indication or prediction of actual results. As a user, you understand and agree that hypothetical results obtained through the demonstration does not indicate in any way the results that you might receive. You must analyze each and every trade on your own and make your own decisions. All right, in today's session of the Nailing FX series, we're going to review quickly the USD yen JPY trade from last session. I'm going to expand a little bit on that 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern that I showed you last week. And I'm going to introduce you to something new, again, another way to improve your trading results, hopefully, and give you some insight into the trading channel, the TMA bands. Of course, we always correlate data with TradingView, a little bit of monitoring and managing, and hopefully we'll be able to hunt for some trades. So let's get to it. Here's a review from the last session. You recall that we put in a limit buy at the hard number 105, and we had a target of 107, and our stop was at the hard number 104. All hard numbers, okay? If you're close to hard numbers, that's a pretty good idea that you want to follow those. All right, so we had that information. We looked at the MACD. The MACD indicated that price was dropping, although in a larger picture, we also saw that price was rising. So we were anticipating that price would drop to the 105 and then go up to 107. This is what the TradingView looked like. And again, you can see here, this is the 107 level, this is the 105, and down here's the 104. And price was dropping according to the climate, okay? We did get some auto phase indications that price wanted to go up, but they were not confirmed. None of these got confirmed. So there was an opportunity here. We could see where in the profile was down. It was coming down. So we put that trade on. That trade stayed on, and I left it on until yesterday morning. Yesterday morning, I took a look at it again. I looked at it during the week, last week. Monday morning, here's where we put the trade on. You can see this arrow here. Okay, this is on a daily, and we were looking for this to come down. Unfortunately, near the end of the trading session last week, we put on that order. The order was canceled. I canceled it shortly after 10 o'clock yesterday to free up margin, since the probability that that trade would likely be triggered soon was very, very low. You can see here there was really very little opportunity. It would have had to come down quite a bit in order to trigger us. So that trade was canceled. The USD JPY that we put on last week was canceled. All right, so let's go ahead into reviewing again the basic high pivot. Now, This is a special type of pivot. This is called the 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern. Okay, and so we start out with the completed period. There would be a period here to the right that would be active, would have not closed yet. Now, this pattern, what I'm showing you today, we want to focus this on daily charts, high success rate with daily charts. Not to say it doesn't work on the lower time frames, but for those of you that maybe want to just look at your charts once or twice a day and to see what's going on, these are the kinds of trades that you want to look at and then set and forget, really. Just do a little bit of monitoring and managing. So that's what we're looking at. So we're seeing that the period that has just completed is the number 1 period. We're looking for that high, okay, and to be lower than the number 2 period, the second period before that. And that second period has to be obviously high lower. So we have that pivot. That's the high pivot. Now, what makes this a 1, 2, 3 reversal is that the close of number 1 is below the low of number 3. Okay? So that's important. That's where you have to take the paper and pencil, make your note. We have to have that close of number 1, which is the period that just finished, on a daily chart. That would be yesterday's period, has closed below the low of number 3. And the reverse is true when we're looking at the low pivot, right? So we want to see that low pivot, and we want to see that close above the high of number 3. So that's the basic 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern. There are a few little quirks that you can and things that you can tweak on that a little bit, but that's the basic pattern. And just start out by looking for the basic pattern. So here, let's take a quick look at the 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern on Euro USD. This was yesterday. And so where do we find those? Now, I have created a little bit of an indicator to allow me to look and see very quickly where the 1, 2, 3 reversals are. And the 1, 2, 3 reversals are these arrows that point to the right. Okay, so this blue arrow is a 1, 2, 3 reversal, and you see down here this red arrow is a 1, 2, 3 reversal. Okay, now the arrows that are pointing down and the arrows that are pointing up, as you know from the past, those are alerts. And on the TradingView chart, those are the auto phase. Those are the auto phase that you see. Now in MT4, I don't show the previous auto phases. I just show the one that's active. I'm still working on some of the algorithm for the MT4. It is not available. I'm sorry. The alert is not available to the general public yet on for MT4. So, but you do have that. You do have that available to you on the TradingView charts. So that's where you want to take a look at that. And we'll look at the correlations here in a little bit. So here you can see here the shaft, if you will, the horizontal part of the arrow, this blue arrow, is actually the level, the high, as you can see here. And so we had the 1, 2, 3. Here's a lower to the left, and to the right is lower. So there's a 1, 2, 3, or there's a high pivot, not necessarily a 1, 2, 3 reversal, until we see that this candle, the number 1 candle here, closed lower than the 3 back here. Okay, so there it was. Now, as you're looking at this chart, there are a couple of things that we can gather from this. This gives you a lot of good information. Let's take a look down here. Here we had an alert and a 1, 2, 3 simultaneously happening. Basically, what happened is this alert period was the number 2 candle of a 1, 2, 3 reversal. When that happens, when you have overlapping alert and 1, 2, 3, that is a very strong indication that price is going to move in the direction that we see here. Now, so it would be if you were trading alerts only. Some people will trade alerts only. So if you were trading alerts only, you would be going long at the close of the confirmation candle. The confirmation candle of the alert, in this case, is the number 1 candle of the 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's a very good confirmation, and your stop is going to be down below the alert the alert indicator here. So just down below here. And then you would go to a minimum of 1 to 1 and set your targets at 1 to 1, 1 to 1.5, 2, et cetera, et cetera. And so on a daily chart, remember we're focusing on dailies now. We're focusing on dailies. This would have been a really good indication. Now here we can see that again, it didn't happen too much until here. Here we again see that the alert is the number 2 of a 1, 2, 3 reversal. And so the confirmation of the alert, the close below the alert low on the number 1 of a 1, 2, 3. And so again, this tells me that there is a good possibility, okay? And what you need to do is you need to start looking for these 1, 2, 3 alerts and analyze and confirm to yourself before you start just taking my word for it. Never take anyone's word for the fact that something is going to happen. Make sure that you are confident based on your own analysis that you feel comfortable taking these types of trades. All right, so now I've showed you what basically we call it a double up alert plus 1, 2, 3 combination. A nice 1, 2, 3 alert combination, good signal. All right, now what about the alerts alone? What about the alerts alone? Well, let's go back down here and take a look at this alert alone here. Again, we have the number 1. Number 1 is closed above the number 3. You see the low pivot. And we have this alert. Now, if that happens, if I got a red alert, now why is it red instead of blue? Well, it's red because if price closes below or just goes below this red arrow and we had been long, that would be the stop. We would want to get out of this position, okay? Now, when we get an alert like this alert, 1, 2, 3, it's a low pivot, closes up. This tells me that I want to put some thought into going long. And how do I get that? I look at my profile. You can see here that the profile is telling me at this point, and a little bit later on here, that we've got some strong indication that price will go up. So now the alert with the profile, so I'm using two different things, alert with the profile is giving me an indication that price is going to go up. All right, so that's what we're looking at here. Now, how far up will it go? Nobody knows. But when we get stepping back to the combination of the alert with the 1, 2, 3. Well, let's call it a 1, 2, 3 alert, right? Combination 1, 2, 3 alert. When we get a 1, 2, 3 alert, there's a very high probability based on back testing, and you must confirm it, that price will move at least 50 pips. Okay. Now, normally when you get an alert, the move will be somewhere between 30 and 50 or better. So when you get a 1, 2, 3 alert, it's going to be probably about a 50 pip move. But again, don't take my word for it. You must analyze and check it out. All right, so there we can see this told me with the confirmation. How far this will go, I can't tell you. I don't know. This varies all over the place. So all I know is that if I go long at the close of the number 1 period, okay, that's the day before close, right? So, and I put my stop down here, and if I measure the entry to the stop, I want to make at least a 1-to-1, so I know the 1-to-1 ratio, and then go on from there. Okay. Now, let's go back and take a look a little bit more here. Here was the alert by itself, just a straight alert, confirmation, and we got a pop to the upside. That was definitely, remember, looking at a daily chart, definitely better than 30 to 50 pips on that move. Going to the left here, again, we got this coming down, okay, coming down. And there's the close below the low of the alert period. So that close, and my stop again is going to be up here. You can go for the 1-to-1, or very quickly, once you've got that 30 to 50 pips locked in, go to a free trade. Go to free trade. Okay. Now the next thing I see here is I see a 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3. Now this arrow is pointing here, and if I extend, if I look to the right of that, it tells me that I should anticipate that price is going to go down because I broke that level, right? Price is going to go down. So, but I need to get a good confirmation. You need to get a good confirmation with the profile. Here's the profile. So when I look at this, it's not giving me that, oh yeah, there it is. Okay, I don't see that. And remember, whenever you question, is it or isn't it? The answer is, it isn't. Okay, so let's go down here and go to the next one. Here I see, again, I've got an alert, not an alert, sorry, a 1, 2, 3 reversal. And this 1, 2, 3 reversal happened in a very nice profile that's showing up. So I'm going to recommend, I would say that if it was my trade, if I saw this, I would be willing to enter at the close of the number 1, 1, 2, 3 alert period, at that close or better. Okay, so sometimes it'll pull back a little bit, and we know that sometimes when we're in this nice profile move, when price pulls back to the green line, that's what we call the guardrail, bouncing off the guardrail, continues up. So it's up to you. But now, where does the close go? Where does the close go? Okay, so the close of this, we have to look back and find what was the low. We could use this. So we have two options. We can use the 1, 2, 3, number 2 low, below that low, or we continue to go back and find the most significant, and that's this range down here, this low down here. And again, then you set up for a 1-to-1, etc. Now moving up from this to this. Now here's this is a very interesting one here. We're looking at the 1, 2, 3 reversal. All right, so we had price come up. Here is the number 3. Here's the number 2, where we have the arrow's shaft, or the horizontal part of the arrow here, sitting on that high. And down here on the number 1 of the 1, 2, 3, we see that that did in fact close far below. All right. So what does it say? It says we can go short, right? Let's go short. And if I'm wrong, I want to get out up above here. But when I look at the profile doesn't tell me to go short. Okay, the profile is still mixed, so I skip it. However, if I take a look and extend this arrow to the right, okay, so looking at it to the right, when price breaks above this 1, 2, 3, this in combination with this strong, very strong, nice profile is a good indicator that price is going to move in the direction that the profile is showing. So now this is giving me a nice indication that perhaps I want to enter at that level, okay, in the market that is already moving up. And where would my stop be if I'm entering here? I'm going to go back down to the last pivot, which just happens to be this prior 1, 2, 3. So there's my stop. My targets again, 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 3-to-1, etc. Remember to go into a free trade. So that's how you can use these alerts. Okay, that's how you can use the alerts and the combination of the 1, 2, 3 together, and the 1, 2, 3 alone. So let's take a look here real quick. Find this one. This is the alert to the downside, right? That's the confirmation of the pure alert. We did get a nice move down. Again, since this is a daily chart, you can obviously see that we did get that 30 to 50 pips on there. Okay, that's probably about a 200 pip move there. And you can then go to a lower time frame once you're in and manage that position. We again got this pointing over here, and it said go short. Maybe I would have picked up a few pips on this, but not very many, because again, the profile, although it looks like it's about 75% sequenced, it's not as nice as you can see over here, where we had 100% sequencing of the profile. What does that mean, 100% sequencing? It means that the blue line was over the red line, was over the green line, was over the brown line, and they were all pointing up. So if you're patient, waiting for the best indications before you take a trade, okay, that should help you improve your trading. So let's take a look again. Again, these were pointing to areas. Let's take a look at this alert. No, I'm sorry, not alert, the 1, 2, 3. Now this, again, we project this. Nothing has come through here. So we project this all the way across here. And when we project it, we see that we're in this area right here. And when I look at the when I projected the 1, 2, 3, and I look at the profile is very strong to the upside on the daily chart. Okay. And so I'm very confident that this is going to yield something better than 30 to 50 pips. And if it gets to 25 pips or 30 pips, I definitely want to move my protective stop into a free trade. Now, when I say free trade, I'm including the spread that you paid for, right? If you never include the spread, you really didn't break even. You still had money taken out of your account. So I'm always looking at probably around 5 pips of lock-in to go to that free trade. And from there, manage. And in a future session, we'll look at possibly when do you put on a trailing stop. Okay? Trailing stop might be interesting. Okay, so now we have reviewed the 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern, and we have looked at the 1, 2, 3 alert combination. So what's the next thing? All right, so now let me introduce you to the channel. Okay, this is a channel that indicates where price has moved, and we know that price wants to revert to the mean. And so let's take a look now. And how can the channel help us? Well, let's just look at what happens when we have the alert and the 1, 2, 3s at the extremes or beyond the extreme of the channel. If you get an alert or a 1, 2, 3 outside of this channel, now this channel, I think it's a TMA, TMA bands. You can find TMA bands. I have modified it a little bit, changed the parameters, the sell zone here and the buy zone down here. You can send me an email, fxopabert@gmail.com, and I will try to help you out with finding that TMA channel. It's a little bit complicated to put it together, but it's very good. So what are we looking for? Again, look here. Price exceeded that channel, and we got this alert here, and we got this 1, 2, 3 here, well above the channel. And so now I've got three things that are giving me some positive feedback to help improve on a trade, my decision to take a trade. So let's take a look down here again. We got the alert outside of the channel. Now this channel is created based on the daily chart. Now sometimes what I will do is I can, based on the input parameters, I can have a channel that's based on a higher time frame than the chart I'm looking for. For instance, let's say I'm thinking about wanting to trade a little bit of short term using the 1 hour chart. Okay, I can use the 1 hour channel, but why don't I use the 4 hour channel? Go up a level or even 2 daily and see what the conditions are. Because if I go into these sell zone, buy zones of the channel in a higher time frame, that's going to again give me another push, another indication that I want to take a close look at the potential for getting into good trades. So when I'm using a channel, when I'm using the TMA channel, and this TMA channel, I can give you that. You send me an email, fxopabert@gmail. By the way, I think I found this TMA channel available on the TradingView chart as well. We'll take a look, see. So that might be interesting to take a look at. So whenever I get either an alert or a 1, 2, 3 reversal that comes into one of the extremes, okay, then I'm looking for something to go in that direction, bouncing out, traveling to probably the mean, the middle of the channel. Okay. Sometimes if the channel is up, you can see here, if the channel is up, then the likelihood is that price will traverse to the other side of the channel over some time. And you can see it took several days, couple of weeks here, but going long here, and here's again that indication. So down here, when we looked at it purely as a 1, 2, 3, excuse me, when we looked at it purely as a 1, 2, 3, we didn't have a real good idea of how far this might go. Okay, but now looking at the channel, seeing that the channel is heading up, strong profile, good indication that this is going to come up. Now I can target the opposite side of the channel. Okay, so now I've got a really good target here, and that increases my risk reward. So if I had this amount of risk going in here, targeting up here, and I target straight vertical, that looks like a little better than a 2 to 1. Okay, now here, coming down, the channel still indicates, at that point, the channel would still be indicating that price wants to overall move up. So I wouldn't target the opposite side. I would target into the mean, into the middle, and see if that will help me with my 1 to 1 risk reward. So there's the channel. Okay, so there's the channel. Now, the next thing is our old friend, the MACD. Okay, the MACD. Don't forget the MACD. And this is the standard MACD. This is on the daily chart. The only thing that I've done on this chart is I've added these little diamonds, the blue diamonds, superimposed them on the highs of the histogram, okay, on the extreme of the histogram, okay, either the high or the low. And now I've got another piece of information. And when I look at this and I see, let's go back here, price broke out well above. Now, as price was moving up here, on the TradingView chart, you would have seen a series of auto phase indications, okay, on the TradingView chart. And so once you get the confirmation, okay, of that auto phase, you got the confirmation, looks good. Price is coming down. Okay, could price return to go up again? Yes, it could. So let's take a look. What do we see down here? Well, price was moving up, and then we see we got at least 2 red diamonds here telling me that this is probably coming down. On the TradingView chart, at the same time, you're probably going to see in the auto climate some good information there. How about looking at the UFOs? How many different indicators can you see that tell you, based on different types of calculation, that there's a potential for taking a good trade. Okay, so that's what we're all about here. We're all about increasing the level for you to become confident to take a trade. So once I see the MACD has turned, and in particular when the MACD drops below the signal line heading down, okay, that's, you can see here, this was the pivot, the high pivot of the MACD, and price started to come down. Here again, it was down below here, turned and pivoted, started to pivot up, going up and down, up and down. And so what we see here is that when we have price moving from a channel, an extreme level of the channel, the MACD is another form of confirmation. Okay, so we have another form of confirmation for us to be looking at a trade. Okay, now it's a lot. There's a lot in this session today. So we reviewed alert. We did a focus on the 1, 2, 3. We're looking at the channel. We brought in the MACD. We talked about the trading view, looking at the auto phase, which is auto phase on the trading view is the alerts, are the alerts that I'm having in the MT4. We talked about auto climate. We talked about the UFOs, seeing those zones. Again, if we have a UFO zone that is in the same area of the channel, and we have all these indications, I would definitely, personally, I'm definitely interested in taking a trade when I have that much enough of those conditions that are confirming each other based on different types of calculation. All right, so there we see the overall picture here. Now it's time to do what? Go to see if we can find something by going to our real-time charts. So let's escape from the PowerPoint, and let's see, I've got to bring up this chart. This is the Euro USD daily, okay? And I'm going to also take a look at the Euro USD daily on MT4, okay? So let's take a look. What do we see? What do we see? Well, remember, this is daily. This is the current day right here. This period is active right now. It's live. Obviously, we don't see a lot of movement on a daily chart. So yesterday, day before that. So today is Wednesday. This is Tuesday. This is Monday. This was Friday. End of day Friday, early Monday morning, seeing this looked like an opportunity to take a trade right there. So let me expand on this a little bit. Big expansion here. All right, so what do I see here? Well, here we have that 1, 2, 3 alert, right? 1, 2, 3 alert. This close on the 1, 2, 3 of the number 1 is below the low of the number 3. Simultaneously, this close is also a confirmation of the alert because this close is below the alert period, okay? So that would have been a good potential entry. When I look down at the MACD, I see that it is rolling over. I have a 1, 2, 3, don't get confused, but I have a high pivot here because I've got blue, blue, red, right? A higher blue than the previous and then a lower. So there is a high pivot here, and this is starting to show me that it's going below the signal line. So had I taken the trade there at the beginning of, well, it will be here somewhere in here, at the beginning of Monday, this moved down on Monday. That gave me 53 pips, and it's been basically sitting at that level. All right, so now what would I have also seen? Remember, this is Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Monday, I would have seen that price had just dropped out of a sell zone, right? Sell zone here. I didn't get, and here is, you see this is the auto phase on the trading view, auto phase. This auto phase correlates with this alert, okay? They're together. And here is the 1, 2, 3 simultaneous reversal. So your eyeball, you have to see this, you have to look at that. You look for that. Getting in there. Where does this say price could go? Well, unfortunately, I have no real clue in my MT4 in terms of how far price could go. So if I just simply go to 1-to-1, okay, from this level up to here, that says 138 pips. Okay, that's 138 pips of risk purely on the MT4. Okay, which 138 is down here, someplace down here, around here. Looks like at about 1.16630. That's would have been the 1-to-1. However, once it moved 50 pips, I would have definitely moved my stop at least to 5 pips. And I could see that the next day here, yesterday, boom, I got stopped out, lost that 50, gained the 5, didn't lose anything on my account, but some worked for nothing. Now, let's shift over. Look at the trading view chart, okay? Trading view tells us here is the zone. My stop belongs basically in the same place, just above that zone. So let's see, I'm going to go ahead and switch this full. I want to take a measurement to go from this entry. Whoops. All right, screwed this up. All right, let me try it again. All right, so I'm going to go from that entry, go up here. That's 135 pips, right? Now I'm going to look down here and see where this target is, and that's 160 pips, right? 160. So 135 to 160, little better than a 1-to-1, okay? So that would have been a good trade, to take. Now, the only thing that is missing here is the fact that the auto climate is not confirming. Now, once the auto climate confirmed, which might happen tomorrow, the next day, whatever, there's probably something available there, okay? Now, I can also see here, right at this level, can see it right in there. I have a 1.1600, okay, leveled here. So that being a hard number, it might be interesting. Here's the 700, okay, here's the 800. Up here is 900, somewhere right up there, you can see. So these hard numbers, don't forget hard numbers. Take a peek at the hard numbers. They're not, the Holy Grail. There is no Holy Grail. But you take a peek, take a look, see what they might be able to tell you. All right? So that would have been a nice trade to take on Monday. Okay? Monday would have been a nice trade. Risking 135 and looking for 150 something. Okay? So a little better than a 1-to-1 on that trade, and maybe hold that position. When I have a good setup like this, I won't necessarily jump into that free trade really quick, because now I've got some better information. So with that better information, once I've gone about halfway down, which would have been right about now I would be comfortable with taking that free trade and moving, somewhere about 5 pips, maybe 10 pips, and letting it run from there. And again, looking at it later today, early tomorrow, et cetera, a couple of times a day, and seeing if there's anything different. Does the profile change for me? Because it looks like the profile is rolling over. The blue hasn't crossed the red. Again, if I were looking purely at one aspect, just one, I would never take this trade. I would never have taken this trade, because there wasn't enough information at that point in time. Okay? But with all of these things helping me to identify a good trade, it becomes a little bit more clear in terms of what we should do. All right, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to now click over here to the US Pro Yen, US Yen chart here. You can see here what happened here. Look, here is our channel, right? We're looking at the channel price, and I got down here. What did I get down here at the close of this period? Yeah, it was a big move on that day last week. Okay, last week. So that was 1, 2. Well, let me just go ahead and measure here. That was 8 days ago. Okay, 8 days ago, I got this. Okay, and it was telling me to go ahead and go long. But what was happening here? We see that going long, going against the profile. Okay, however, it had gone down here. So now I look down here, and I see that the MACD turned and started to come up. And by the time I got this indication here, which was, again, this is Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Friday. Again, Friday. Wow, Friday. This indication wasn't very clear. So maybe Monday would have been a better day. Could have taken this trade. At that point, you can see that the MACD had significantly started its move. It was still, MACD still was negative, but weakening. Okay, the MACD was negative. Why do I say it was negative? It was because it was below the zero. right? Below zero. So it was negative, but it was weakening. Why was the negative force or negative momentum weakening? Because the MAC was rising, and I can tell it was rising by those blue diamonds on the MACD. Plus the fact that the MACD had moved up and crossed the signal line. So that was a good indication to me that there was a nice potential for a buy at that level. Okay, just looking at the MT4. However, we have more resources available to us. So let's look at what the yen was telling me. All right. And this was the old yen trade. I'm going to take that off. And let's go ahead and expand this. All right. All right. Now, wow. Yesterday, we blasted out of a buy zone. Okay. And we got the auto climate telling us that we're beginning a new 6-period upward movement. So where could that go? Where could that go? And that was at just about right at the 106, right? 106 level. So we saw that price coming out of that level. And let me see here. We got to move this down a little bit. Here is the other side of that. Look at where that is. Look at where that is. So what's my risk? My risk is, let's take the measuring tool here. And I'm there. And I want to go down to this level. So the risk is 80 at the bottom of the buy zone, and down further, let's see, down further at the low pivot, it's 120, 121. All right, but what is the profit potential, the target? 285, okay? Now, it would probably take a long time, many days, for price to reach that level, but that's a nice setup. That's a nice setup. And when price moves up, it has already moved from that yesterday. It has already moved 24. I wouldn't be moving my stop yet, but it gets up into this area here where it's up 85, 90, 100. I'm definitely not leaving my stop down below here. I'm going into a free trade of maybe 10 or 15 pips. Remember? And so that looks like a pretty good setup. Again, that was yesterday. Bring in this. All right. So now, what did we say? If we had gone in here, 200. So that means price would be coming up into the top of the channel. And so when I target the channel, I don't target all the way through. I target this zone here, the bottom of the zone. So 240, 250, I'm looking at 108, 108, 108, maybe 109, 109 even, the hard number, 109, slightly below that. So the combination of the trading view and the MT4 matching up, these things are matching up. It takes a little bit of effort to go through and look for these trades. Let's go ahead and go to the Aussie USD here and see what we've got. All right, so we're in the middle here. We're in the middle here. This, as far as the trading view chart is concerned, on the Aussie, there isn't really much. We're, kind of like in the middle. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So we wouldn't get, and where's my Aussie US? Here's my Aussie US. All right, so Aussie USD, this is 1 hour I gotta go to daily. Didn't look right. There we go. Huh. All right, I've got strong indications here. Again, today, yesterday, I got a double here. Price down at the MACD has started to roll down. It is still positive MACD, but weakening. And I can see that definitely weakening. That white space in a very, very earlier session, we talked about white space. So today has been more of an educational session to help you identify where you find the alerts. The alerts you can get those alerts from TradingView, looking at the auto phase. Okay, did I get a close below the low of that last auto phase alert? Yes, there. Okay, that was yesterday. So I could have gone short on that. It didn't confirm a lot to go short on that coming down to here. However, in that Aussie, looking at this, bring this up now and open this. Okay, we got a really good indication. So yesterday and today, we've got 25 pips basically already. If I did nothing more than put it on yesterday and take it off right now, or put it on early this morning when the market opened, right, 5 a.m. or 5 p.m. New York time, just after 5 p.m. New York time, I would have put on a short. I'd already have 25 pips, and maybe that's enough. Okay. So again, today, mostly a learning session. Next Wednesday, I should be on FX Street. We'll take this information that we've learned today and see if we can't. We'll do a quick review, and then we will look for trades most of the period next Wednesday. If you have some trades that you put on and you want to send some screenshots to me, go ahead and send the screenshots. I'll be glad to take a look. Please don't feel bad if I don't answer immediately. I'm doing a lot of other things as well. So that's it for today. Have a great week. I hope you took some notes. If not, you can review this recording, and I will see you next Wednesday. Have a great week.